Todd is not only a remarkable, successful 30-year titan in business with having multiple businesses that generate multiplied millions of dollars.
And if that plan happens to be to build $1 million company, which I can help you do.
But he's humble. He's a man of God. He's a family man.
The world's news organizations are built on everything but positivity.
He is an influential entrepreneur and business speaker for over 30 years.
I've got to forecast. I've got to pronounce. I've got to project. I've got to share with you my ideas, my vision, my goals for not only myself, but for you.
That's why he's came up with his incredible concept of taking and creating a platform for people that are wired differently.
And you got to understand that your habits of your person and your habits of your business and your habits of your spirituality have to lead to the North Star of who you are. We need to figure out who we want to be in life.
Oh, oh, can you imagine the horror, the fear? Can you imagine? I don't know. Maybe I should start at 7:55 every morning. I don't know. Let's get our votes in right now. I feel like a complete imbecile. I don't know how to put it any other way. I'm a bit embarrassed. I got to read you a text. I'm like working on all my notes and I'm up. I'm doing everything. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Monday. Listen, you only got to listen to me 5 minutes today if you want to get off on the normal time. So Chad, my coach and social media director and friend, and not in that exact order. I literally went live at Tom's this morning, and I felt like everything was really going great. It's all just a damn test. It can't be anything else but a test. Will he overcome? Will you overcome? I got so much for you this morning. What I guess is the setup is that I was an imbecile this morning. Chad says at 7:50, as I'm finishing notes and trying to prepare for a great Monday morning, I hope you're not 20 minutes into a show thinking everything is going right, because I was still waiting to see your show this morning. So I don't know what to tell you. I blew it. I really thought I was on time. My watch is not on time. I don't know. Listen, note to self. If you buy a Rolex, you got to buy a Rolex winder, because the Rolex doesn't keep good time if it's not wound up. You see, it's a motion driven type of watch. And if you don't wear it, the motion doesn't charge it up. And if you don't move, it doesn't charge. And I was off 30 minutes and I was, all right. But I'm not going to let this moment, ruin my day. I'm not going to let it ruin the message I have. I mean, everybody watches this on playback mostly anyways. And so I'm going to power through this. I'm going to tell you, I apologize, man. I literally can you imagine? I don't know. I'm not going to let you down. I'm going to be here. Now, I will tell you I'm an Apollos. I'm a modern day Apollos. We do get things wrong. We do mess up every now and then. And so I just ask for your forgiveness this amazing Monday morning. I'm going to go my full half hour. I was just joking about the last 5 minutes. I've got a great topic I want to talk to you about. I've got a lot to share with you. This weekend was, listen, this is my last full day here in the Angola studio. I love this studio. I'm looking around and let me see if I can just show you some things here. So this is a whiteboard I use. This is the notes I prepare for you for the show on how I can do things. This is the microphone. This is some of my supplies. And then this is my soundboard and the lights. let's see here. There's a big screen TV. And so I do love this studio. And I'm going to I'm pulling the curtains off of the Magic Act a little bit, but I got to tell you, hi Deb. I got to tell you that I'm stoked this morning. I don't care. Satan's not going to stop this show. Even Todd's not going to stop this show, right? So this weekend was amazing. Hi, Chad. Come on, put out. Hey, Chad, why don't you do me a favor? Philippians 2:13. Chad that chat right in there. Philippians 2:13. For it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose. All right. If you could do that for me, Chad, Philippians 2:13, that'd be great because you're saving my tail. So I want to talk to you about this weekend. I want to talk to you about like my last full day here in the studio, my last full day here in Angola, Indiana, the donut capital of the world to many of us. And this morning, honestly, I was up extra early and I really went through two messages that I had on my heart. And I was just trying to figure out how to combine them. And it just wasn't working. And I gotta get my camera back on straight here. All right. Wasn't working. So I mean, it was like I was forcing it. And so I really just went to how I felt this morning. And I really wanted to talk to you about some encouragement. And I want to inspire you. I want to motivate you. I want to love you. I want to build you. I want to share with you. It's funny how my heart has changed over time when it comes to, be honest with you, wanting for myself and wanting for more others than even myself now. And I find myself challenged in this coaching arena with trying to touch all the people that want to be helped in the capacity that they're in. And it's an interesting thing. But what I can do is encourage any of you who are not even paying for services and those who are paying for it to have me coach. Thank you very much, because that's what's powering the show and powering obviously me, and the energy is beyond God is that I, as well as God, obviously is that I do need your support. I do need affirmation. I need it to be working for people, and I want to be working for you. And so I was thinking about that. I was thinking about this weekend. I was thinking about the word test in so many different ways. But honestly, it came up to me first and foremost as I know a lot of friends that have been going through some tests. And now, in the mindset that we're in right now, you're thinking, oh, were they tested in physicality? Were they tested in their ability to go the distance? Were they tested in their ability to stay the course? Were they tested in their ability to be resilient, resolved, resolute? Were they tested in their faith? Were they tested in their love? Were they, originally that, obviously I'm going to get to all that because it is all a damn test. I mean, like literally everything that we do in our life, everything from jump, we're being tested. And I want to talk about that. God talks about it. I feel God asked me to talk about it. But the test that was resoundingly coming to me was there are millions, obviously, I hope not say obviously, but I'm certain there are millions of people in this world right now waiting on a test, waiting to get back lab results, waiting to get back test results from their doctor, waiting to get back blood work from their doctor, waiting to get back biopsy tests from their doctor. I mean, this is a very finite word of test, but it's really what inspired me this morning. And so I just want to talk to you out there. I want to start this morning coming out swinging a little bit. I know it's 9 minutes into it, but if you've never been tested for a health condition, awesome. But at some point in your life, most of us, if not all of us, will be tested for some type of health condition, some type of blood work, some type of, how old are you? And you need um, cancer blood work done to see what your white cells and your red cells are. And if you're not feeling well, you go see the doctor and they say, let's go get a blood test and let's see what we're looking at because you got symptoms of this. So let's just pick on cancer because it's the most prevalent destroyer. A lot of us go out there and we go through life, and ultimately at one point or another we have a test. We have to see if we're healthy. And so I want to just talk to you this morning, this Monday morning, about the test, right? And so although some of us get good tests back and we get bad tests back, we always understand it's a test. And so I want you to understand I'm with you this morning. I'm with you if you're going through that unknown period of a test of wondering if you're healthy or not, waiting for those results, or wondering if you're going to need to go in and look at certain things. This is not meant to be a downer. It's not, and that's not, it's going to be a great message. It's just that the word test is so important to us in our life. And I think the test of blood results, the test of biopsies, the test of this idea of finding out if you're healthy or not is godly, right? I think that although when we're going through those moments, we don't feel godly because our emotions take over. We start to think, oh my gosh, what if I can't? What about my children? What about my wife? Who would raise my children? Would my wife remarry? Would I ever not accomplish certain things? How will people remember me? And like, it's just a damn test, right? It's not even the thing yet. It's just a damn test. But our minds jump to places it shouldn't. Our minds jump to places that God never intended us to have them jump to. And so that's the idea, the mindset I want to think about. I want you to know, take that moment, because I know most of us have had that moment where we've had to get a result of something. And we start Googling. We jump forward. We're all about like, well, this symptom is this, and that symptom is this, and this symptom is this, and oh my gosh, I think it could be this, and we don't even know anything yet. We don't have the results back. We don't have. It's just a damn test. Everything's a damn test. And so I want you to take that moment in your life where you remember where you probably got through the test, and even if you didn't get through the test, you got through the process of maybe the cancer. You got through the process of maybe the virus. You got through the test of the malady of sort, right? And you're sitting here and you're listening to this, and so there's two of us in the room right now. There's the person who's got the test and wondering what the test is going to say, jumping into places they don't need to jump into. Then there's the person who had the test, passed the test, and got a result and dealt with the results. And you're all sitting here and you're all listening. So the mindset of it's all a damn test was just this idea of how are we processing our life in test moments? Are we of faith? Or are we of worry? Are we of scarcity, or are we of positivity? And I can remember on my own self, I can remember several occasions, even as a younger man, where I had concern of a prostate problem. And I would have to go through the test. I still go through the test. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I go with everyone. After 40, you should go get tested for a lot of things. But even if it's not the prostate, or it's some other malady, or it's even a COVID test, I mean, you really understand this idea where you're in this waiting moment. How is our mind functioning in those moments of uncertainty? And that's really what I wanted to talk to you about this morning. Right. I want you to reflect on that moment. I want you to think about the test that you're facing in life right now. You have tests. We all have tests. I have a friend out there who's has a son that is kind of left for a little bit, not communicating, leaving him wondering what's going on with his son, what's going on with his own emotions over his son not communicating. I have other friends out there that are going through divorce, wondering if they can repair it or not, right? It's a test for the father and his son. The diagnosis isn't in yet. It's a test for the man whose wife filed divorce papers the day after the last child went to college. It's a test. The results aren't in yet. You see, there's just lots of tests. God's just giving us tests all the time. And it just came to me that it's all a damn test. Everything you do in life is a test. In Philippians 2:13, I asked Chad to put that. I don't know, maybe he's not on here. Maybe he did it or he didn't do it. Well, Philippians 2:13. Let's see if he got it in here for us. It's a test, Chad. Come on, bro. Philippians 2:13. For it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose. And so I thought I would talk to you about you personally this morning. I thought I would talk to you about you spiritually this morning. And I thought I would talk to you about you profitably this morning. And we're not going to talk exactly about profits and money this morning, although I love to make money. I love to make profits and money. And I want to thank you so much for an amazing epic. I wrote down 3 things that went on this morning that I was tested and rewarded. And one, as I went to a funeral. Lots of tests there. I went to a golf course with an older friend of mine, an 80-year-old mentor that took me to his golf course, drove me all over the golf course and told me stories. And we talked about making money and we talked about marketing and we talked about a lot of things. He's read my book. We talked about the book. And the last thing I was tested on was I had live book giveaways. I spoke a little bit at Tom's Donuts this weekend with Mike Conley in the background singing, and I sat there and I was tested. I gave away almost 100 books to people coming by, free books. I gave them and I signed them. I signed a lot of books. It was such a blessing. Would people want the book or not want the book? They wanted the book. Matter of fact, they wanted the first book, the second book, and the third book. Lots of tests. But I wanted to kind of share with you this morning, and I'll wrap it up because I know we're running way late because I was tested this morning on common sense. I was tested this morning with maybe not even going on after I realized I'm 20 minutes late, right? I'm tested constantly. I'm tested from my doctors. I'm tested for my marriage. I'm tested in my faith. I'm tested in my parenting. I'm tested in my coaching. I'm tested in my resilience, in my ability to speak. I'm tested in my ability to continue to go every morning without fail with a new content, a new management moment, a new understanding of how I can speak to you. I'm tested every morning. Sometimes I say, why am I even doing this? Is anybody really paying attention? Well, it was answered this weekend. Close to 20 people came just to see Wired Differently in that hour or so of book signing. It wasn't just the Tom's Donuts crazies that I love so much, right? It was people coming to talk about God. It was people coming to talk about the book. It was people coming to get the third book because they already had their first two books. It was people coming to celebrate the tests that they're going through in their own lives. So you see, the understanding of our ability to reach out, stretch out, keep trying, not stop, keep going is the test. The father waiting for his prodigal son, the test is not to give up and blow up. The test is to wash feet, right? The father that's trying to move through that and to understand those things. The husband wondering if his wife is going to leave or come and go. The test is to win out the moment. The test is to go the distance. The test is to wear down the enemy, right? The test is to pray. The test is to begin to understand and love and forgive and have patience. The test is so many different things. The test is our ability to recognize the test. For it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose. Well, I said to myself as I read that this morning, what is God's good purpose? What is God trying to fulfill his good purpose? So what is this good purpose? And I really believe I understand the good purpose is to pass the test. Not all of the tests. I wish you could get an A+, but you're not going to get an A+ on this test. It's inconceivable. The only person to ever score an A+ on this test is Jesus Christ himself. Period. We're created to go through the test. We only have to do one thing to pass this test. And I'll close with that. But I thought I would just kind of break this down for you this morning because I really want you to understand you're in a test right now, Luther. You're in a test right now, Debbie, Christina, all you people on here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Chad, you're in a test right now. I want you to understand what is going on. Our free will or God's will is the test. Our free will or God's will. Now, this book's a mess because I was practicing my signature on it to figure it out, and I don't want to waste. So, but our free will or God's will, that's the test. I mean, you want to boil it down. When God says in Philippians 2:13, for it is God who works in you. So he's saying, God, it is God who works in you. Paul writes, it's God who works in you. End of story. God is working in you. So then he says, but what is he working in you? He's working in you to will your will be done, to will and to act in order to. So when I hear that at first, the will is God's will. He is willing. He's inside you. You've accepted him. That's the only way to pass the test, right, is to accept him. But then he wills himself in you to act in order to. And act in order to what? Fulfill his good purpose. So he's in you to will you to act in order, a certain order, not a consecutive order, but an order. He's in you to give you his will in order to act to his purpose. You need to read it about 3 times, and you need to put it in context because it's all about his tests for us on a daily business model. I love it. What is God's purpose? God's purpose is for us to pass the test in his will. So we're in business, we're knocking it out every day. We're in life, we're knocking it out every day. We're in marriage, we're knocking it out every day. We're in our own personal growth, we're knocking it out every day. But I wanted to make sure today that you understood I'm talking to you about order, and it's his order. I want you to understand that it's his will and his order that needs to be done in you for you to pass the test. The test of life, the test of how we're going to handle bad news, the test of how we're going to handle a biopsy, how the test of how we're going to handle our children not acting appropriately. It's all a test. It's all a damn test. And you're going to pass it. I'm convinced you're going to pass it. I'm convinced that you understand your free will versus God's will. I'm convinced that we're doing a good job on this show helping you understand that the test is merely this. Will you keep the faith? Will you understand that it's His will in order to fulfill His good purpose? And that every test we have out there right now really is designed around faith. Faith in God's work through a doctor, faith in God's work through an airplane pilot, faith through God's work in the dentist that he doesn't go rogue, faith in your marriage that it will stay strong, faith in your child rearing that you'll make the right decisions, and when you don't, God will pick up the pieces and take over. Because it's our free will that's that management tool of here on earth, and God's will through us in order to fulfill His good purpose is the test I want you to understand in your business, in your life, and in your love life, and in your faith. We want to be able to say with certainty in 2 Timothy 4:7, I have finished the race. I have went the distance. I have fought the good fight. Now it's time for me to receive the crowns of righteousness that you bestowed upon me. And the only way we can earn that, the only way we can learn that is to follow the path and move through the tests through life. Tests of faith. Whether it's God's work or blood work. We're called to His will and to act in order to fulfill His good purpose. That was a message I have for you. I want you guys to have a great day. I want you to understand that I think about you all the time. God's will be done. Matthew 6:9 teaches us that. It's our free will that's being tested every day. It's your free will that will set the course of your test results. And I'm there for you. God's there for you. Believe, believe, believe. Have a great day.